So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a massive bombshell in regards to Assassin's Creed Unity. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? I ask again.
Give it me.
Okay, you're ready. Okay, so Assassin's Creed Unity will run at 900p and 30 FPS on both, okay, the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now you're probably thinking, well, yeah, on the Xbox One, maybe, because we know it is an inferior machine to the PS4, so you would be at least expecting 1080p out of the PS4. I mean, we want 60 FPS, but I would kind of... Well, I wouldn't accept it, but I would expect there to be 1080p, 30 FPS, at least on the PS4. But there isn't, Mr. Kirioff. And do you know why there isn't? Because I've got a fucking quote, Mr. Kirioff, and this is what the quote says. We decided to lock them at the same specs to avoid all the debates and stuff. Now, would you like me to read that again? I bet you do. We decided to lock them at the same specs to avoid all the debates and stuff. Now, this isn't just from any old Joe Blogs in the development team. No, no, no. This is from senior producer Vincent Pontybrand. I think that's his name. I apologise if I've butchered it, but I don't really
Something
care.
like that.
But the senior producer bit is what we need to worry about here. You know what I mean? So, excuse me, but what the hell is going on there, Mr. Kirioff? What the hell is going on there?
That is, in terms of like idiot statements, that's got to be pretty high up. To avoid all the debates and stuff, because obviously, if you say that you're gonna, make the game inferior on a console that it could actually have better performance on, to avoid debate and to not have arguments, that's going to work bloke with the internet, isn't it? That's a surefire way of ensuring that no one gets pissed off, because they'll just look at it and go, oh, you wanted to avoid debate? Oh, well, that's fine, we won't talk about it then. The fuck kind of logic is that?
By this logic,
what the hell is that?
We know this is going to have an Xbox 360 version. I mean, I know it's going to have a fucking PS3 version, because it's Ubisoft, and it's probably going to have a bloody... a mobile version, an Android version, an iOS version. Let's fucking get parity with them. Oh, you know what? We're gonna run the. What about a Wii version? A Wii U, bloke. What about Wii U? What about we go? Let's have. Can the Wii U even
480p,
480p, 5
frames
FPS
a second.
Come on, 480p, 5 FPS.
Apologise.
Yes, it's for parity, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so the question, well, it's not even, I'm just going to tell you why they do this, right? The reason why they're doing this is because, number one, yeah, they don't want to alienate people with an Xbox One, right? Well, okay, so maybe I can understand that to some degree, but what I don't understand is the people who have bought a machine which is capable of much more than the Xbox One should not be forced to play the game at the same level as the Xbox One. That is ludicrous. And now you might say to me, well, Sty, there isn't much difference between 900p and 1080. There is a big difference. There is actually quite a big difference. It's not much of a jump up.
There really is.
There is a difference. And obviously between 30 and 60 FPS even more, but they can't even do that anyway, regardless. But still, that is disgusting, Mr. Kirioff. Absolutely,
when this game comes out, right, we were going to get this, right, and I was going to take my PS4 downstairs, plug it into my massive telly that's downstairs. It's glorious. I love that telly. I can tell when something is not high def on that telly, right? 900p is not a 1080p. You can tell the difference. For instance, the PS3 that's plugged in there down there looks like shit, frankly. All the games look terrible because the screen's massive, it's high res, it's HD, all this, and the PS3 is like 720 max. And yeah, there's scaling up that goes on, but it still looks shit compared to actual 1080p. This is going to look terrible. I don't want it to look terrible. It's supposed to be a next-gen fucking game. The whole point of the consoles is that it's supposed to provide, just better in every way. So why the fuck have we got basically the same FPS? Why the fuck haven't we got a proper resolution? What is going on? And also, this statement, we decided to lock them at the same specs to avoid all the debates and stuff. Firstly, it's not their debate to avoid, right? It's got nothing to do with them. All they've got to do as fucking game developers is make a game that runs on these consoles to the best of their ability and at the highest fucking spec and speed possible. That's what their job is to make the game look and play as good as it possibly can be played on that fucking console. So if the Xbox One can't run it at 1080p, fuck the Xbox One. If you wanted to run games at a higher res, you should have bought a fucking PS4. That's not their problem. That's your problem for picking the wrong console.
Exactly. I couldn't even agree. Oh my god, it's just...
Oh god,
but this
it's so irritating as well because it's just...
Oh...
I don't understand as well.
So last year, last year, what they did with Assassin's Creed 4, okay, this launched on the PS4. In fact, this was the first game I ever played on the PS4, yeah? It was terrible. The ship combat was okay, but the game was good. Because it's Assassin's Creed, it's the same every year with 1,000 different layers of complexity levels of bullshit that nobody gives a fuck about because they just want to go around in stealth, killing people. But no, apparently they want to fucking go back and forth through the future in a fucking time machine and do all kinds of shit. That's not me. Anyway, so Mr. Kirioff, last year, Assassin's Creed Black Flag 4, that shipped at 900p and 30 FPS on both consoles, but then a magical patch arrived, And this was a patch that made the PS4 version 1080p. Well, doesn't the plot thicken? I'm pretty sure we're going to see the same thing again. Because you know what? They're like, hey guys, we don't want to alienate the Xbox One crowd. So at launch, all of the reviews, the things that you see on Eurogamer with the Digital Foundry face-off stuff, where it's like, this is the Xbox version, this is the PS4 version, and sometimes that quite in detail shows, or like quite clearly, that this game is way better on a PS4 than it is on an Xbox One. Well, that's bad for Xbox One sales, and Big Daddy Microsoft won't be happy with that, will he? No. So instead, how do we get around this problem? Well, we just release exactly the same copy on both platforms, and we're just like, well, that's fine. That's fucking fine. I mean, we're not even talking about the PC version of any of this, because, well,
obviously, it'll be vastly superior.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the game is a PC version, then devolved down into the consoles.
They have been in the past, so hopefully, it'll have proper options and it'll run at a decent.
But the fact I'm making
is,
they will upgrade the PS4 a month or so after launch and go, wow, we've got this new amazing thing, and then suddenly they've benefited from both. They haven't slagged off the Xbox owners to begin with. They're in the same boat as the PS4. The ignorant PS4 users won't know. They'll just be like, oh, this is fine. It looks the same as my friends on his Xbox One. But then lo and behold, a few weeks later, bang! Oh, suddenly the PS4 version is 1080p and it looks way better than 900p. I doubt it'll be 60 FPS. Imagine if it went up to 60 FPS, although I don't think it would.
God.
It's pretty impossible. Because let's be honest here. Hang on. I've got another thing. Another thing. So this is another quote. And he says, technically, we're CPU bound, he said. The GPUs are really powerful. So I'm just going to stop his quote at that, because the GPUs are not really powerful. The GPUs are like PC GPUs from like 2011. Mid-range ones at that. You may carry on, Mr. Kirioff.
Well, something that needs pointing out here is the fact that, as you stated, they have already bumped up Black Flag to 1080p. So even going into this, trying to avoid debates and stuff, even going into it, the previous game is already better in terms of fucking spec than the new one. So how does that work anyway? Because that way, it's like PS4 users who know that their game got a fucking patch to 1080p are going to look at this and go, "All right, so with all the technical innovation and the whole next gen thing, what you're actually saying is your new game, which you've had more time to develop on the new consoles, and you've been able to do more with, is actually going to be worse than the old game. Is that not backwards? What the fuck are you doing? That's not going to avoid debate. That's just going to make PS4 owners more pissed off. Xbox One owners are going to be fucking reminded that the previous game is at a higher res than what they got because of the fucking patch, and then they're going to look at that and go, oh right, so they're just going to patch it, as you've just said. It's not avoiding anything. It's a terrible decision. Why can't they just fucking grow a pair and go, look, here's the thing. We can make it run at 1080p on the PS4. We cannot do it on the Xbox One. The Xbox One is not as powerful, so you're not going to get it at 1080p on the Xbox One.
They don't even.
It's still going to be a good game. They fucking play it.
They just release it, and it's like, well, there you go. It's faster on this system because it's a faster system. I mean, when you said grow a pair, that'll be the day, Mr. Kirioff. That'll literally be the day. Ladies and gentlemen,
it'll never happen.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. Good God.
Terrible.